the comic book world is woke and is the same as like the Hollywood movie industry, everything in the comic book space? And give me some examples of, because all of this is kind of new to me, being old, not having kids. I'm not aware that the comic book world, but it makes sense. Disney and all the kid movies have gone woke, so it makes sense that the comic book world would follow suit.
Yeah, so what we've been dealing with in this industry is the same exact thing that you've seen in a lot of different like aspects of entertainment. I would argue that it happened in the comics before, and then it started to kind of disperse itself into other stuff. So what we saw is various weird things happen. Legendary Iceman, for you guys that know, associated with the X-Men, they turned him gay out of nowhere. Like, inexplicably, this was a character that, if anything, was the complete opposite, considering his previous relationships and all that. So out of nowhere, he is gay. They make him gay. And they started doing weird, odd, bizarre things to a lot of these legacy characters. Recently, you see like Tim Drake, people know as Robin. They just up and turned him gay. Superman's son is now gay. It's just weird stuff like that. And also just beating their audience over the head with a lot of social issues. We see this recently with the Batman comic, where this was basically a stand-in for the Antifa types, right? Go in, destroy businesses because they're mad at some sort of form of injustice. And there was a panel where Batman was, of course, kind of zooming past, and he saw them do that. And instead of like using his utility belt and various things that he might have to try to disperse that crowd, he just goes above it, says, well, they have insurance. Who cares? And it's like, that's not Batman. Batman would never do that. But that's, of course, the views of the person that's writing that story. So that's really all this is. These characters are being used as vehicles for these activists, these leftist activists, and they're running and stuff into the ground.
And so how I caught wind of this is you started crowdfunding, I believe, to put out more content, and that caught on like wildfire. People were very supportive of what you were trying to do in the comic book space. Walk us through that.
So, yeah, it was actually what we did was we took the transparency of what you generally see with the crowdfunding stuff. So be it like in Indiegogos, Kickstarters, people are trying to raise money. Well, I took the transparency of that. I wanted people to see how much money we're bringing in. I wanted people to see how many people bought this item and all that. People love to see the numbers go up. And I love that that's what crowdfunding introduced. But I funded it myself. So what I did was, after the success that I saw in other avenues, I put about, let's say, $200,000 or so of my own dollars, and I say, let's make it happen. Paid my artists, all that, even the initial printing, all that we paid for ourselves. And thankfully, it was a risk, but thankfully the audience said, you know what, this is exactly what it is that we wanted, and they supported it by the tens of thousands, and we've gotten millions upon millions of dollars, which, I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, I expected to see some success, but to this degree, no, I did not think, definitely not initially. I did not think we would be doing this. And it just goes to show how much of a demand that there is in this industry in comics, where people just don't want this nonsense. They're tired of watching the characters they grew up loving be ran into the absolute ground, and they are ready for something new.